Brazilians taking to the streets in cities up and down the land. Despite COVID, they're out here because they're angry that their country has now passed the grim milestone of 500,000 deaths from the virus. And these protesters say only one man is to blame. They're chanting "Bolsonaro out," blasting the president for his handling of the pandemic.
The feeling here is one of indignation. We can't stand it anymore. The government is worse than the virus.
We are protesting against the genocidal Bolsonaro government that did not buy vaccines and has done nothing to take care of its people in the last year.
Fury on the streets contrasts with quiet despair in the cemeteries. As another loved one is laid to rest, an average of 2,000 Brazilians are dying from COVID-19 every day. And with winter approaching and a slow vaccination effort, there are fears that the number is only set to rise, with more families facing the toughest goodbye. While vaccine uptake in the major cities is high, across the country it's a different picture, with only 11% fully vaccinated.
Here in Brazil, we have almost 6,000 different cities, and each one of them has different ways to deal with the pandemic. We need to have a focus on one way to deal with that. So, unfortunately, our federal government is not doing that. So it's a huge problem.
And I guess it doesn't help that President Bolsonaro has said that he won't have one.
Sure. It's unbelievable that at this time of pandemics, we have this kind of message which is sent by the president.
A president who once described COVID as a little flu and has joked that a vaccine might turn people into crocodiles. He claims he's avoiding serious COVID measures to protect the economy. And he's not a fan of a face covering either. Here leading a group of motorcyclists through Sao Paulo last weekend, later fined by the city for failing to wear a mask. He still advocates a drug widely discredited for use on COVID patients.
At 65 years old, I got COVID. And I took hydroxychloroquine. The next day I was cured.
His government is currently facing an investigation into their handling of the pandemic, which has already produced damning evidence. And last month, a poll said Bolsonaro's popularity sunk to new lows, with only 24% of Brazilians saying his administration is good or great. It also showed his rival, left-wing former President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva would win if elections were held today. But what happens in Brazil when it comes to COVID, of course, doesn't stay in Brazil. The variant known as Gamma causing cases in the UK, sparking a travel ban and placing the country on the red list. Are you worried about new variants popping up?
We have maybe 2 or 3 variants of concern in Brazil. So since we have only 10 or 11% of people vaccinated in here, the chances of having another variant, and we don't know how dangerous it's going to be that, it's really huge. It's a major concern not only for Brazilian people, but also for the world.
Today on Copacabana Beach, roses symbolize the 500,000 COVID victims. A horrifying number. Hard to get your head around, but the loss of each person keenly felt by the loved ones who've been left behind.